enigmatic, surprising, unique. This is the Salar de Uyuni, a magical place of salt and silence that opens Bolivia's doors to the world. In the immensity of this white desert and its colorful lagoons, the shades and hues of dawn and twilight blend together, awakening intense sensations that can only be revealed within the intimacy of one's own mind. The ancient origins of this 10,500 square kilometer salt flat, located at 3,600 meters above sea level, are as mythical as they are legendary. It is believed that this was the bed of a vast lake called Minchin, whose waters slowly evaporated over the centuries until they left the Great Salar. In this amazingly beautiful landscape, it is difficult to distinguish land from sky. Coming here is like traveling to far-off, unexplored worlds where reality surpasses the imagination. The Salar de Uyuni is also the beginning of the extraordinary White Desert's Colored Lagoons tourist circuit. Any traveler keen for new experiences will find them here on the Isla Incahuasi, right in the center of the salt flat. The physical features of the island are exceptional. This salty desert environment in the land of the Lipes, near the legendary Tunupa volcano, was the home of native peoples who eked out an existence in the salt trade and left us the inheritance of their ancestral traditions. Two hours northeast of San Juan, you arrive in San Cristobal. Its reconstructed colonial church is its greatest attraction, but there are other alternatives for adventure tourism, such as following the Trail of the Condors. Continuing along this same road, we arrive in Culpinacan in just 15 minutes. This authentic village has become a point of interest to visitors due to its peculiar architecture and the use of regional building materials. The journey continues on to Villa Alota, a reconstructed village that is full of color that contrasts with the surrounding altiplano scenery. These strange formations have withstood the passage of time, transformed by the forces of wind and erosion, until they became the beautiful natural sculptures that they are today. The scenery changes as we roll on through vast southwestern Bolivia and discover new options for tourism in the regional communities. At Malcu Villamar, another community along the way, there are a number of natural attractions. The Rio Grande de los Lipes is the natural habitat of diverse bird and animal species. It is located in the outlying areas of the community of Soniquera, with bas-relief rock carvings that show vestiges of ancient cultures. Later, let yourself be carried away to the final frontiers to discover the fantastic nature that Bolivia has to offer. As you enter the Eduardo Avaroa Andean Wildlife Reserve, there is much to see and enjoy. During this crossing, the Dali Valley precedes an almost supernatural encounter with nature at the dazzling Laguna Verde at the foot of the Licancaur volcano. The hot springs at Polques are an invitation to experience the warm touch of nature. Here is where tourists stop for a while before continuing on to Sol de Mañana, where one can feel the power of nature as it bursts forth from the bowels of the earth. Going into the high Andean wetlands, the Laguna Colorada Wildlife Sanctuary opens before us. The great diversity of colorful plumage and birds strikes a contrast with the gray surrounding mountains. Crossing the Siloli Desert, the Tree of Stone, a natural wind sculpture, stands out on the horizon. The tourist route heads 2 hours northeast of Siloli until you arrive at the Quetenes, two small villages which are the only communities located within the Eduardo Avaroa Reserve. Near there are the Chaquilla rock paintings, which hold the unrevealed mysteries of distant pasts. The return voyage along the White Desert's Colored Lagoons tourist circuit has even more new and interesting attractions. Tourists who are interested in anthropology and ancient cultures will find what they are looking for in these caverns. Perfectly preserved mummies, which are the mute witnesses of times long past. Travel back in time by visiting these sacred strongholds. Along the edge of the salt flat, at the base of the Tunupa volcano, are a number of villages that have preserved their farming tradition of raising quinoa real, a truly amazing Andean grain that has fed and nourished these people from times remote. These populations are now part of the tourist route that brings visitors closer to these striking and hitherto unknown landscapes. The salt flat is a window of the world for Bolivia, with a huge launching event that drew world attention to this exceptionally unique place. The whiteness of the Salar was offset by the colour and opulence of the traditional Diablada dance, a demonstration of our country's authenticity and a reaffirmation of our cultural heritage. The dance of the Tinkus from northern Potosi department erupted onto the scene with all of its color and energy to garner international acclaim. With typical regional music and dances from the region, the silence of the salt flats was exchanged for a moment for the joyful rhythms that express our cultural roots. The Morenada stunned onlookers with its power and fantasy, showing the essence of a rich folkloric heritage. This was the stunning natural stage for displaying our country's many options for tourism. Find the peace and the silence of this magical, mysterious world, the air of thousand-year-old cultures that we invite you to get to know. Re-encounter nature. Have an extraordinary adventure as you travel through this enigmatic land of white deserts and colored lagoons, letting yourself be amazed by a country where the real thing still exists.